I don't know what I study. I should be able to know what I study, right? It's when the camera's there, I can't. I'm Melissa Thompson. I'm a professor of sociology, and I'm receiving the Graduate Mentoring Excellence Award. Sociology studies social interactions, social groups, and how institutions are shaped by and shape individuals. Sociologists typically emphasize how social resources are unequally distributed and then study the consequences of that inequality. I study the causes and consequences of criminal behavior with a focus on labeling, treatment, and in many cases, failure to treat mental illness in the criminal justice system. I investigate mental illness as both a cause and a consequence of contact with the criminal justice system. I typically focus on studying women who are enmeshed within the criminal justice system to understand how treatment and lack of treatment exacerbates mental illness and criminalization. One specific project is a book I wrote with a former PhD advisee, Summer Newell. In this project, we sought to understand the consequences of the dramatic growth in the incarceration of women in the last few decades, and the majority of these women are mothers. So in our book, we titled it Motherhood After Incarceration. We show how the incarceration of mothers affects their relationships with their children and their community, and how these affect mental and emotional well-being. We found that mother separation from their children resulted in strained family, emotional, and mental health issues. And then we also saw that it created obstacles to re-entry within the community after they were released from prison. Another ongoing project seeks to understand how contact with the criminal justice system affects the contraception and fertility choices of criminal legal system involved women. So with this steady expansion of the criminal justice system's reach into the lives of women, especially women of color, the justice system plays a growing role in family planning decisions, including decisions about using long-acting forms of contraception and sterilization. This research examines healthcare access and contraceptive promotion and use among women who have had contact with the criminal legal system and the impacts these have on system-impacted women. I do this research because I enjoy uncovering sometimes hidden mechanisms or challenging taken-for-granted assumptions about the causes of social problems. Many in society assume that there's a clear individual explanation for issues like crime and mental illness. I'm inspired by turning this thinking around and asking, how do broader social structures actually affect what's going on in the criminal justice system? And that helps us to understand why we might be attributing individual blame and responsibility to people instead of understanding what's really going on with society and social problems. I am also inspired by sharing different ways of looking at and investigating social problems with student researchers. I learned so much from engaging with PSU students at a variety of levels. And PSU students are constantly motivating me to seek how to answer questions and how to create social policy that can address some of the biggest issues when it comes to inequality in the justice and healthcare systems. My name is Melissa Thompson, and my research seeks to improve the mental health and well-being of those affected by the criminal justice system.